Today on Hey Kings, we're going to take a short look at how the coronavirus is impacting hay trade, but also the general economy. The hay export industry was born on the electronics industry. In Japan in the late 70s and in the 80s, Japan was sending us a whole bunch of electronics in containers. So much, in fact, that we had this excess that we had to get back. We had to get those containers back to Japan to fill them again. So there were a couple of folks in Washington and in Oregon that said, wait a second, those Japanese, they got racehorses. We're going to send them hay. Or, hey, they got dairies and they need fibrous material, and we got all this bluegrass straw, ryegrass straw, orchard grass straw in the Willamette Valley. We're going to press that and export it. So the industry was born on the back of cheap containers, those freight rates going back from the U.S. to Asia. Now today, we know that you can go on Amazon and get just about anything that you need. Most of it's made in China. All this matters because of the coronavirus. China has their Lunar New Year in January, and with the coronavirus, they extended that Lunar New Year a couple of weeks. And they basically said, everybody, stay home. We don't want the virus spreading. Stay home unless you're delivering human food or animal food. We've been shipping hay. The Lunar New Year's a slow shipping season. They usually stock up ahead of time. We shipped hay. They have the hay at the port. The hay's getting off of the port because, again, folks handling animal feed, you got to feed animals, virus or no virus. The hay's getting off the ports onto the dairies. The dairies then take those containers and deliver them to whichever manufacturer that's going to fill them up and send them back to the U.S. The problem is all those businesses sending product back to the U.S. are closed. So we have a situation where the empty containers, at least with livestock feed, are getting off of the ports, onto the farms, and then they're stuck. Now the problem is, those containers are stuck there. We don't have any here to fill and send back. And to get a container from the port of Seattle-Tacoma to South Korea, Japan, and China, and that's the route that the ships take, takes 4 weeks. And when we get to a point that the virus isn't a limitation in transport and shipping and normal business operations, it's going to take 4 more weeks to get those containers back. So from the time we normalize shipping again, whenever that is, we're not there yet, until we can get bales of hay back to those dairies, it's 8 weeks. As with all things China, we don't have the foggiest clue what they have in inventory. Individual customers, sure. And we have exporters working really hard to fill those orders and make sure that they have enough feed for their livestock. But this is going to be a big driver for the economy, both the Chinese and the American economy. This is going to affect the American consumer in that they can't buy everything they want off of Amazon with next day delivery because it's still sitting at the factory in China, hasn't made it into the empty container to come back yet. This is an interesting time in agriculture, and I'm talking about hay right now, but this applies to so many other commodities, from hazelnuts to apples to forest products, just about everything that you can think of. Everything export, everything trade-oriented is messed up right now. And as we look at the stock market, I didn't see what we did today, but it's certainly taken a tumble. A portion of that tumble is consumer sentiment and fears based around economic slowdown, and a portion of that is straight container availability and true disruption of trade.